If you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. With that being said, hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Matthew, and today we're doing another figure comparison. Today we're doing a figure comparison between Godzilla Kong, the New Empire's two first release versions of Kong. From here and here we have the Beast Glove Kong from, well, obviously the 6-inch line, and the 11-inch giant Kong with Beast Glove. And just for some classic recommendations, we're also going to throw in the Walmart exclusive Kong from the 2-pack set, which I'm now just noticing a little paint nick, or a little paint defect on mine. Yeah, this guy's definitely been through some battles, huh? Well, yeah, we've got 3 Kongs, obviously a very last minute addition, but essentially, we're just going to be kind of comparing these guys for fun. You know how the game is played, sculpting or sculpt and paint, articulation, size, accessories, price, availability, and packaging. And we're going to be primarily going through the works. So without further ado, let's get started. So first of all is sculpt and paint. And believe it or not, even though they all share, theoretically, technically speaking, all the same mold, they actually do have some differences. But first, let's start with this guy, the original. Here we have the original Kong with Beast Glove. Just thank you, camera. Original Kong with Beast Glove, and I've praised this figure before, and I'll praise it again. The detail work on this thing is phenomenal. We have all the fur details going down to the back, and it's very hard and rigid. We got some of the fur pattern on the face here. The eyes actually are not really painted all that well. Because they're looking off in 2 different directions, and it's like this on all freaking units. The teeth paint are done pretty decently. Mine's showing a bit more gum than it should be, but that's okay. We have a bit of a mild gray spray here on the face. More of a mild gray, more of like a thicker gray spray here on the chest, with some of the slashes that are not sculpted in, but painted. So we have like 3 slashes there and 3 slashes there. The 3 slashes going out across this way were there first, and then Godzilla, I think, pretty much slashed him like that, which is weird because he slashed him like, I think it was like 4 times in that one scene. And we also have like some spray on the feet and on the palms too. But again, it's not like overly thick amount of paint, it's just a spray of paint. Something that I'd also like to mention is the Beast Glove itself is a paint in more of like a vibrant yellow, and it also has a bit of like shine to it. We also have like the metallic labels of VT61 and HT42 on the sides, like that on both sides. We have a bit of like the paint coming down here. Then we have like the metal gear, which is really well painted. We have like this little, I don't know what that is. It's like some sort of like strap. And then speaking of straps, you also have like this side, which nothing is painted here. Even like the gear, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And again, gray spray right here for the palm. And again, like the detail work is just phenomenal. You also have like a lot of like the same kind of fur patterns here for the feet, and also pretty well smoothed out. It's kind of like a really well done thing, is like smoothened out where there's skin along with a gray spray, and then where it's brown, it's like very well detailed and very rigid as far as like the detail is concerned, which is weird because fur is not supposed to be rigid, it's supposed to be soft and fuzzy, but this is anything but soft and fuzzy. We also have like some additional sculpt work, which I know was Playmates is doing, because now we have like some extra sculpting like slash marks here. Not done like particularly the best. They're not painted. Maybe they're like meant to be like scarring, but we have some here and then some down here. I could be missing some, but I cannot find any others. Don't think there's any on the back. Yeah, because in the movie there's supposed to be like a scar here. That's not on this figure. I think it's on the either the High or the Monster X Kong, if I'm not mistaken. So that's the original. Let's talk about the Walmart exclusive Kong, which I think I just had a whole new hatred for, as far as like the paint goes, because it shares the exact same paint job, base paint job, and sculpt as the original. The slash marks are still there. The mismatched eyes are still there. Mine's not showing as much gum on this one, thankfully, but it is still red, it's still brown, it's still gray, it's still orange eyes, pretty much all the works, and you got pretty much a paintless backside minus the Beast Glove, which you already saw. Just to say there's no differences between the two Kongs when it comes to the Beast Gloves. They're the exact same shade, although the quality of the paint may vary. But speaking of quality paint, let's talk about the yellow and the red. So we have more sprayed on yellow pecs, which are like on the top of the pecs. So you do get a bit of nice spray there. And it's meant to look like the lava coming down. We have some more of like the red paint on the chest, and then we have like a black line going down, so they completely painted over the scars. However, you can still tell that they're there because it's the base figure has, I can actually kind of see it. I can kind of see it. I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but you can kind of see 3 strict lines. Yeah, I'm still finding out about this even after I got this thing, like, I think it was a month ago now? I could be wrong, but speaking of which, you have like a bit of a more yellow streak. Red streaks going down to the palms, here from the shoulder, here from the elbow, here from the shoulder. And we have like 2 red splotches here that kind of gives the impression that it is bleeding, but no, it's just lava. And here it's just kind of, well, obviously like that as well. And honestly, the paint itself isn't really done all that great because you can kind of see there's paint bubbles starting to burst. I don't remember if that was in my original review or not. I'm going to have to go look back. And even though the beard is well painted, as soon as you move the jaw, yeah, it's not really what the best painted. So creatively speaking, it has great color variety, but it doesn't really have the most amount of detail out there or quality of the paint. Also, when you start moving joints, it starts like cutting off the paint. So it's clear that they only just, this was like a last minute figure. They took versions of this guy, they already had it in the factory, and painted it and sent it off to Toho and Legendary for approval. So essentially, he's just him with new paint job. And the Giant Kong actually has a slightly more dull colored Beast Glove than the original. I don't know how well the camera is picking it up, but it's a lot less glossy and a bit more faded. And as far as like the brown is concerned, I want to say it's about the same, if not a tad bit darker. So pretty much everything is a bit more muted on the giant figure. But we do have better painted teeth. I mean, that's kind of to be expected. Same quality type of paint as far as like the spray is concerned. And at least the eyes are actually painted well this time. But something that's also of note is that because it's also a lot more of a detailed base figure that's scaled up, the detail actually manages to get itself a little bit better. And in some areas, it actually looks even better than just confined to a 6-inch figure. For example, the back. This actually looks pretty snazzy. Save for these screw holes, which again, I don't really care about screw holes because I grew up with kids' toys that didn't really have screw holes. In addition to extra paint being on the inside of here, because you can kind of see just for a little bit of a side-by-side now that we're here. That's where, see, like, look, no paint, tons of paint. And so they actually painted the gears. Finally, the inside gears managed to have their time to shine. And one last thing to point out is the spray on it seems a bit less tame because on the 6-inch figure, you can kind of see because like the spray doesn't really go onto the like first sides. On the giant, at least on my copy, you can kind of see that you can clearly see that it kind of oversprays a little bit. So even where there's fur, there's still a bit of spray. And it looks to be a lot lighter. Because, like, look at this. And then look at this. Like, that's a lot lighter of a color. And you have a bit of, like, mild paint chippage, but that could just be my copy again. Because these figures are, unfortunately, open boxed. I kind of wish they were closed boxed. but it makes sense. I mean, it'd be pretty expensive to fit a figure this size into a closed off thing. So, but again, as far as like the overall sculpt, it's pretty much the same. It's got better detailed nostrils at the very least. So, as far as like the overall general consensus as to like who has the better paint job and sculpt, I would say the quality of the sculpt, even though it does look better, like as far as like he probably has the best paint job, second, third. I say third because the extra paint is a bit tacked on, definitely last minute, and even though it looks cool, it's starting to burst. Like the bubbles are on my copy are starting to burst, which really kind of makes you wonder how long this thing will last until all the paint set offs. And then I'm just going to end up with two figures of the same variety. But maybe that's not what will happen. Well, whatever. But as far as like the sheer detail goes, I'm gonna have to give it to these two over him just because again, it looks better from a visual standpoint overall. But I can't help but overall just like these two's detail a bit more confined. But just again, that's my personal consensus.